Hi. This video was hard to make because of how frustrating the situation was. You'll see why. As you know, I love Dandy's World. It may be a repetitive game, but it's a fun experience to play when you're into cartoons and horror. Checking the community to see everyone supporting the game, it drops a tear on my eye. However, seeing the community getting into drama just feels tiring to look at, and this is exactly what the video is about. Recently, Vanixic made a video on someone's thread about Toons being portrayed as white is uncanny, leaving him to get bashed on by the community. And you're probably wondering, oh socks, what do you have to say about this drama? Which I'm gonna hold your hand and say this. This drama is a nothing burger. I say this because this was literally about certain Toons like Comso and Coco. Despite being objects, they look black. Now I get it. Headcanoning a toon a different race is fine, and I don't really care on what y'all do. At the end of the day, we should all acknowledge that these are just Toons, and we, as fans, are allowed to do whatever we want in our own little mind. Sure, this look uncanny for Cosmo to have his appearance be entirely white because it doesn't look like him. It doesn't fit him, hence why no one should turn him into an entire different toon. However, this conversation goes from Toons that shouldn't be white because it doesn't fit them to race related, so we might as well treat this as one. I've been noticing a pattern of these people, so I'll make an example. Yatta is a toon. A piñata toon. Her design is supposed to be based on celebration in Mexico culture. However, it originated from ancient China as a celebration for the new year. Will you continue to state Yatta is Mexican? Personally, that's you to decide. It's just an example I made, but you get the idea. A lot of times I've seen people make this claim where they see a character's appearance and view them as black or Mexican because they think they would be one, or because they care less about what they said was racist. I think I'm over-exaggerating this one because I've seen people normalize it as an okay thing. Maybe that's just me. Moving on. And this argument in the thread would be a comparison between Cookie Run Kingdom and Dandy's World. This argument falls flat for a reason. This being one of them shows representation and the other doesn't. If we're going to use Golden Cheese Cookie for an example, she's not just a dark colored cookie but a representation of Egyptian culture, this being her background and what she's based off. The argument with Dandy's World, however, doesn't work because, like we all know, Toons do not have a canon race. The only similarities we have between the cookies and Toons are that they have issues with whitewashing in the fandom. At the end of the day, we, as fans, are allowed to make any headcanons that make us happy than trying to look better. If you want to headcanon Dandy as black or white, that's fine. No one should please others just because they disagree or have a different perspective on the character. Toons are fictional characters who have zero race. It is up for you to come up with headcanons you think fits the character. I have nothing else I could say about the thread except Vanixic made a video on this but expressed it similar to what I did. It's like the image where you agree with someone but they express it in an annoying way. That's basically how I feel about his video. So take my words as a grain of salt. Anyway, this video was not taken well to the point where it gets off topic. You might be wondering to yourself, why is everyone commenting on his hair? Well, you'd be surprised to know this all started with a kid who made a tweet on someone's comment. And this would be Kiki. For starters, Kiki is 15 years old. And this is where this unnecessary drama comes from and where I talk about it. This video has left a bad taste in everyone's mouths, because Vanixic would publicly humiliate Kiki by exposing her account to everyone, leading to her receiving harassment and death threats. People in his comment section would be on different sides where one would defend Vanixic while the other would defend Kiki. So, what do I have to say on this? This might sound mean but both sides are at fault. Before commenting, let me finish my sentences as to why. This is an adult fighting a child online. An adult that should have been mature when it comes to handling this problem instead of acting out. Vanixic should have ignored Kiki's comment. And I know just because he's an adult doesn't mean he can't have feelings too. Which, yes, he's allowed to be mad about that comment. But this should never be an excuse to expose the minor's Twitter account on his video, let alone thousands of people seeing it. It's ridiculous that Vanixic would do such a thing when he was known for being calm by responding to criticism made by people who hated his guts. You'd think Vanixic would have handled this differently? No. It's unreasonable for Vanixic to make an unnecessary video to make fun of a kid only for them to get harassed, let alone not caring about anyone who uses slurs to discriminate against people of color, disabled people, and LGBTQ people, which says a lot about him. To which these are issues we are dealing with. This is a serious problem we're all facing. This shouldn't be brushed off as some non-issue when we're facing racism in America. So yes, it is that deep. I can say the same thing for Kiki, because not only was it inappropriate for them to engage with making fun of Vanixic's hair, but because they shield their disability from criticism. Which not only is it selfish but dangerous to do this in a platform known for bigotry and ableism. No, this is not me pushing this issue off, because this raises concerns about Kiki's surroundings when it comes to revealing they are physically disabled to strangers on the internet. For the comment, I know nothing about hairstyles, but this is supposed to be Vanixic's dreads. I cannot speak on this, but all I know is that Vanixic was made fun of because of his hair. Now I'm not saying this was Kiki's fault for starting this, because she didn't deserve the audience to harass her, but because she shouldn't engage in making fun of him in the first place. Just because you hate someone doesn't mean you make fun of them. And this goes to both sides. Vanixic and Kiki shouldn't make fun of each other. This was stupid to make fun of each other in the first place. Vanixic has been everyone's most hated Dandy's World critic ever since he's made his trolling videos. He has pissed everyone off by how he responds, and how he gives off criticism in hopes for Quell to improve her game. But with how he's acting, my friends, we just witnessed his downfall. Sure, he makes valid points about the fandom, but we kinda get the answer from what we should have learned about every fandoms. There's a lot of misinformation said about Vanixic and Kiki, so let's execute them. Vanixic is a quote-unquote racist defender, because he defended CyberHaptic, another Dandy's World critic, and because Vanixic had Trump's mugshot as his PFP. That's explainable for Vanixic to get called out for having a racist pedo as his PFP, but for Cyber, it's more of a meh. Cyber admits to saying the N-word 3 times or more, and this was 3 years ago. This doesn't change anything because racism will always be there whether it's in the past or not. That's still wrong regardless. It is not up for you to forgive Cyber, but up for our fellow black friends to decide. That's up to them, not us. Kiki drew fat fetish, and this is completely incorrect. This is a satire artwork from a deleted Vocaloid video, and a comment on an artist's post by showing off their drawing for a commission art. From what I know, their content is suggestive, and Kiki shouldn't be allowed to view this kind of material whether it's meant to be sexual or not. Anyways, we're done. I apologized if the video looks rushed. I was on vacation while I saw this happening, so the only thing I had to do was write the script while I looked back and forth to watch the videos, and use text-to-speech as a way to help me make progress on my videos whenever I'm stressed. I know someone made a video before me. They did a good job at making awareness of the situation. Their video led me to making this video. I hope you all know the answer. Don't get into selfish drama that relates to unnecessary topics. Just don't. Overall, I hope we learn our lessons and show respect to each other. Please. I hope you all have a good day and night, and see you in the next video.